This is how I am keeping your TFMR story safe from Google. This is our TFMR stories. I'm Sabrina. I'm a TFMR lost mom to my daughter Clara. I had to end my wanted pregnancy for hydrops, cystic hygroma, potential chromosomal defects, and for my own health. And now I help other TFMR parents in their darkest hour, parenting through the impossible. If you're listening to this, you found me, and that means you're not alone anymore. You can talk to someone about this. Email me or book a call. I've been through it too, and I want to hear from you. So, this live is going to be all about how I'm keeping your TFMR story safe from Google, also Meta and other big tech companies. So we'll get to all of that. But I want to take you behind the scenes on how I'm doing this, and maybe you'll get some ideas about how you can do it too. Because I really believe that the tech should unite us and keep us safe, because it's all about our healing, and we heal more when we're together. We heal more when we can share safely. We heal more when we can reach that deeper, beautiful state and let our baby's lights shine. So this is one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about this, because this is the why. The real why isn't like, oh, I'm interested in this tech, or I'm interested in this company versus this company. I could give two about that. What I care about is you and your healing. And I've seen it over and over again in the grief circles, and I have facilitated these spaces for us. And this happens here in the Facebook group for us too. And we go even deeper when we meet on Zoom, when we meet in the TFMR support sanctuary, when we meet in the smaller grief circles, which I will be opening up in July. I'll start talking about those throughout the month of June. But now, if you want to join us right now, you can join us in the TFMR support sanctuary. And I want to talk to you about how I'm keeping you safe there, how I'm keeping you safe here, how I'm keeping you safe in your story and all of your data and all of, where we put in our name, where we put in our information. I want to share how I'm doing that for you, because you may wish to do these things for yourself as well. It's a real concern. I want to talk about why it's a real concern. So a few months ago, I found out that anything you have on your Google Drive is now, well, see, this is what they're saying. They said this a few months ago, like, in a few days, anything you have on your Google Drive, we will be scraping and feeding into our Gemini. That's their AI. That's their ChatGPT thingy. Anything you have on your drive, we'll be sending in there. And they sent out this email, and it was like on the news, but just a little blip. We're doing this in like 72 hours. And listen, I don't even believe them. I think that they were already doing this. They were already reading, scraping, training on all of our data. And I was so appalled. There was like no way to opt out. They gave this short notice, and like I said, I honestly think they were already doing it, and this was just their like legal disclaimer that they were to do it. I mean, it's just so sneaky. And Google, they make it so easy to keep everything all organized and shareable. Like, if any of you have ever picked up, any of my journals, guides, the Real Self-Care Guide in TFMR, I have other things like the 31 days of journaling in the month of October, baby loss awareness, journal prompts and everything. I wrote all of those things from my own brain, with the blood, sweat, and tears of this experience, of going through TFMR myself. And if this is, one of the first times that you've seen me on these videos, or maybe I'm gonna put this on the podcast as well, or you're listening to this podcast. I'm Sabrina, and I've been through TFMR as well. It's why I'm so passionate about caring for us so fiercely, because you've had to fiercely care for your baby, for your body, up against all of these odds, and then now this. So it's why I'm so pissed, because like I said, like, this is coming from my heart. All of the things that I have on the Google Drive, that I then share with you. Like, if you downloaded one of these things and you went to a Google Drive link and you downloaded it for yourself, but now Google is basically stealing all of my carefully crafted journals and guides. And you know what, Google, it's embedded in everything. Like, I use it for so many sign-ins, and it's like so easy. Forgot your password, sign in with Google. Yeah, I use that. But I've been thinking back to that case from Nebraska. If you've heard of it, you can comment here. I think the comments should show up. I don't know. I'm streaming through my computer, and sometimes it doesn't really show what's actually happening live. I can bring my phone up here. Maybe I can see that. Anyway, so in Nebraska, there was a case of a mother and a daughter. The daughter was older, teen, maybe 16, 17. And they were messaging over Facebook. And I know now I'm jumping over to Meta, but it's like Meta, Google, big tech, whatever. Like, I see them all as one beast, like different heads of the same beast that do not have our well-being in mind. And anyway, this mother and daughter pair, they were messaging over Facebook Messenger, maybe it was WhatsApp, trying to figure out how to get the daughter abortion pills. And they eventually got arrested from those messages. So the messages were used as evidence to arrest them. And, I've been thinking, what kinds of conversations are we having here, or over email, or over Messenger? I really hate that this even has to be a concern. I mean, think about it. Like, no one who's looking for the best doctor for a knee replacement, which I just want to say, knee replacements have a hugely higher regret percentage than abortion of any kind. Okay, because they use that as an excuse, as an argument against us, right? Like, you shouldn't do it, you will regret it. And regret is a whole other thing. I could make a whole other video for us. If you have regret, that is something that we hold in our grief circles. That is something that I work with one-on-one with people. That is something that we talk about in the sanctuary all the time. It's okay. It's okay to have whatever emotions you're having around, losing your wanted baby in such a horrific way. But I just want to say, like, someone who's looking for a knee doctor, they don't have to worry about any of this shit. And here we are in the intersection of women's reproductive care and family planning and anyone looking to grow their family and medical pregnancy loss, and we're just trying to grieve our babies in peace, for God's sake. And we find ourselves in this hotbed of contention, and it's like so confusing on purpose. All of these laws, they're just meant to make us scared. But those fears are real, because these are real cases. These are real things that are happening to people in like the reproductive community. This is happening. This is happening to our neighbors. This is happening to me. Like, my information is being scraped and then sent into an AI, which, I hope it just means that if any of you are using AI for any grief support or grief information, that, like, the care has then gone into the models, and then it's coming out on your end. I hope that that is the way that it is happening, but I don't trust these big companies, and I want to keep our sacred stories of love and loss, of our healing, our motherhood, our parenthood. I want to keep them safe, because your story deserves to be handled with so much care and respect. I never want to unknowingly be feeding your story into Facebook's or Google's, oh god, my cat, stop it, into Facebook or Google's insatiable AI, hungry AI, little llama or Gemini. They all have different names, and I think they even have different names so that we don't even know that it's them. Like, that's them. Gemini is Google. Google Drive is Google. Google Maps is Google. It's all, they're all connected. But I want to keep coming back to, this is your baby, your story, your family's story, and I want to respect and care for these relationships, these stories. The claws of these companies run so deep. And I set up my professional email. So if you've ever emailed me over there, Sabrina at the TFMRdoula.com. It's not at gmail.com, but it is. It's the professional Gmail. And I set it up on Google way back in 2020. Before the depths of these companies' evilness they were like just starting to be revealed then. I mean, it's always been that way. But we are truly in a time of like the great revealing of all of the evilness. Like, it's right out there. You search for it and you can find it. You can see all the evil things that these companies do. But back then I just thought, oh, it's my paid business email. It's my company's information. They don't even want that. They were already training their AIs back then. I didn't know that. And if you want to share like anything about Google, Facebook, Meta, I know that we're here on Meta. We're here. We're here on Facebook, so this is being streamed on Facebook. I wonder if it's even going to go through because of everything that I'm saying. I'm probably triggering some little bots somewhere, but hopefully it is going up, and hopefully the replay will go up for all of you, because this does affect us. All of these recent articles about Google search. I don't know if you've probably heard about this, that the Google search is going to now be an AI search. I don't know. I go to google.com and I do a search and it looks normal. There's like a bigger button where you can turn it into an AI search. But all of those articles and all of this recent, like it got me even more, like it pushed me over the edge to really start looking at these things for all of you, and how I'm going to be de-Googling, de-metaing. And I want to let you all know that it is a process. So if any of you are in it as well, and it just like feels so overwhelming, I've been there too. Sometimes I read these articles and I'm like, I need to get out of there right now. And I'm like, but I have these shared documents with my podcast editor, who does this podcast. Like, I have it there. So how can I got to get out little by little. So I want to let you know I have three categories here that I'm going to be sharing with you. The first category is what I already have in place to keep your story safe. And the second category is what I have that's in process to keep your story safe. And then I have my like dream, like want to do, like get away from all of them want to do's. So I'll start with what's already in place. And if you see me looking up, I'm just looking at my notes here. So what I already have in place to keep your story safe is using Zoom for all of our calls. So any of the grief circles that are inside the TFMR support sanctuary are, like, most of those are never recorded. Number one, especially one-on-ones, like those are never recorded. They're not going anywhere. They're not even going into or getting transcribed by any AI thing. I mean, because Zoom says that they are encrypted video calls, but like even Zoom, I'm like, oh, okay. So most of that stuff never gets recorded. And then what does get recorded from inside the TFMR support sanctuary is mostly me or Kate talking, and we're already public, like out TFMR figures. So that's the portion that's getting recorded. So that's one way that I'm keeping you safe using that encrypted video. Okay. And another way that I keep your story safe is on the podcast. A lot of people who come on, they only share their first name. They share their story. Maybe they don't share, exactly what state they were in, or maybe they do want to share their state, but they're not sharing any other information that could identify them. And I want to make sure that I am still having those videos, those stories up on the podcast as much as possible. Audio only, because your story deserves to be safe. It also deserves to be told. So all of these different ways to interact anonymously. I guess another I don't have on the list here, but I could add is here in the Facebook group, I have anonymous commenting on, and it will always be on. I know that some groups have turned it off. They're like, if you're going to share, you should identify yourself. Well, they're not sharing about what we're sharing about. So I want to let you know that anonymous commenting will always be on in this group. Because again, like I said, it's about your heart, it's about your baby, it's about your story. And these stories deserve to be shared. Another thing about the Facebook group, after I get you into the Facebook group, there's a little automation, so it just like automatically happens in the background. I'm calling it a burn after reading self-destruct. It's this little thing that runs on all of your information. It deletes it all. It's cleared, it's deleted. And like a few years ago, I was like tracking something in a spreadsheet, and then I realized, oh, this is a Google sheet. Like, it's Google, so no, it's deleted, all deleted, wiped, and that was years ago. So that is not happening. It's not like your information is going to one place and then going to another and then going to another, and it's like this big tech and that big tech company and then onto another one. No, it's staying right where I know where it is, and then it's getting deleted. So yeah, I don't do that, just to like keep a backup if the email provider does something weird or whatever. No, if I were to have just your email information somewhere, I would save it locally, just on my computer. And I use Linux. That's another thing that I have here. Actually, I don't have this on the list, but it should be on the list. Another way that I'm keeping your story safe is I'm not running Apple. I'm not running because they're like tracking everything now. So there's another big company to worry about, Apple or Microsoft. Like, Microsoft is tracking everything too. So I'm not running Apple. I'm not running Microsoft on my computer. I'm running Linux. So this is another one. I never have any AI agents reading your applications, reading your email, reading anything in my email provider. No, I don't want any of that information going into some big tech cloud AI thing, which would probably be ChatGPT, which is another one. I'm just naming all the big guys. They're going to come for me. Whatever. They can come for me. I love all of you so much. They can. I will keep you all safe. Because I don't trust any big cloud AI for our sensitive stories. I don't. Here, I've got like a whole story written. Let me read it for you. And I got so pissed about all of this that last year when I was planning on opening the TFMR support sanctuary, I was looking at little forum and comment box plugin things. And this would have been through like small tech companies. But then I started thinking, what do we talk about in the comments? What do we share about? We're sharing our sacred stories we're also sharing our information. We're sharing our medical information. And I thought that that information, they don't deserve to even keep that on some server that I don't even know what they're doing, and they're running that through some AI thing. No, no. So I said, how? And I went and I coded the forum infrastructure all myself. I'm not a developer. I mean, I guess I am now. I have developed this custom forum software for me, for us, just to be used for us. Uh, and that's what we're using inside the TFMR support sanctuary. So, I mean, the geeking out here, I had to learn basic PHP, the CSS. So the PHP is like getting the comment boxes working, and the CSS is like making it pretty. And my SQL or my SQL, whatever, however people say that, that is our database, ours, not any of these guys, ours. And I host it offshore. It's not on US soil. So, in layman's terms, what all of this means is that I am completely in control of our forum and what happens with our words and our stories that we share there. And they will never go anywhere near some AI thingy. They will never go anywhere near some faceless tech company that collects $27 a month. Me, it's about us. No, no. I said no. These stories are they're they're the heart and soul of us, and it's our babies. So I'm keeping your baby safe. I'm keeping your stories safe. This is our forum for our eyes, for us, our sharing, our healing, human heart to human heart, back and forth. Okay, one more thing that I'm also doing. This is probably something that you could easily use on your own. All of these other things, some of them are kind of advanced, and I want to let you know that I've been doing these things over like years now. It's been like a year, 2 years, even like 1 year was like thinking about it, thinking about different options, looking at different options, and then the last year has been about building it and actually building these options, and then like really moving in this direction. So I use the Firefox browser on my computer with a DuckDuckGo search. So that one is not Google. There are other searches besides Google that you can use. This is one that doesn't track or train, or you can turn off the AI thingy. And I use Ecosia on my phone and the Ecosia search. That one's kind of cool because they say that they will plant trees. For after a number of searches, they'll plant a tree, to try and offset all of our tech usage. So I think that's really beautiful. That's something that we can do. And I know a lot of us like plant a tree in our baby's memories. So let me just direct all of in our baby's memories. May those trees be planted. May they be planted. And away, away, away from Google. All right. So that was the first part of what I already have in place to keep your story safe. And if you want to start anywhere, I would start with a Firefox browser. And number two, this second section or category of things that I'm doing is what I have in process. I am working with Proton Mail to get off of Gmail and to get off of Drive. And like I said, I don't keep any of your information in there, but it's mine. It's my IP. It's my intellectual It's more than just intellectual. It's heart and soul. So I want to get off Gmail. I want to get off Drive. I've been in conversation with Proton Mail, with one of their salespeople or the migration expert who's going to help me with that. And like none of these things are ads. I'm just sharing, because we have to think about these things. And I want to share what I'm doing, hopefully so that you can feel even safer. When you work with me, when you're in this community, I want you I want you to feel that safety, because that safety is like the first step before healing. When we feel tense, when we feel that we're in survival mode, the healing doesn't happen. It happens after you have that breath out, after you have that feeling of safety. Yeah, so back to Proton Mail. I want to move towards them because I've heard that many people in the reproductive space are using Proton Mail, and they trust this EU company. I don't think they're in Germany. I don't know. I'll have exactly where they are. But the more I can get us off of US tech clouds, the better. Just want to get off of there. Another thing that's in process is I'm working on moving off of Spotify because of all the things they do. They finance surveillance and military tech, and nope, I don't want our community's money and sacred stories going towards that. Like, we know what it's like to be bereaved parents. Why would I want that energy and money to then go towards creating more bereaved and broken families for in any country anywhere? No, no, no. So I'm moving to the woman-owned and run Hello Audio. And if you're subscribed to our TFMR stories on any platform, I don't think this will affect you. I think I may be able to keep the same RSS feed or whatever. And I know I've been using a lot of technical stuff here, but I want to share like what's behind the heart and soul of all of this tech for me. I want you to know that this is so intentional. It's intentional because you matter so much. So I'll probably be sending out an email once it switches over, just to let you know. You may need to look in your podcast app and see if you're still subscribed and if you want to subscribe again. Let's see, another thing that I'm doing. Oh yeah, I kind of talked about this already. Moving all of my IP, intellectual property. Oh no, this is even another layer. Moving all of the journals, PDFs, downloads, guides, which you get all of the paid pieces of that if you join the TFMR support sanctuary, with all of the meditations and all of the other video healing transmissions and all of that. I'm moving all of those off of Google Drive and putting them directly onto the server space that I own, right next to the forum. So I don't know, that just feels like so much heart and soul. I started with the PDF that I mentioned earlier in this video, the 31 days of Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month prompts. So that is all ready for October, and I own it. It is not in any Google Cloud. It is where I want it. And I own it. I own that space. I own that space for us. Another thing that I'm in the process of doing will be getting a shared spreadsheet that I have with Kate. So she's the co-facilitator in the TFMR support sanctuary. I'm going to get that off of Google Drive, and that does not have any of your names or any of your email, nothing. That has nothing on it right now anyway. It's just like our kind of behind the scenes like tracking spreadsheet, but I'm going to move that into the Proton Drive when that one is up. Yeah, because I don't want any of your names, emails, anything on that document, and I won't even have them on there, you know, when it's part of the Proton place, because no, that is that is our information, only for our heart to hearts. That's it. And the last category, the things that are on my want to do's, for the next group chat, for the next TFMR grief circle, the small circles that I run, that I will be moving over to Signal. So we have slowly been moving. So at first these group spaces were like a little private Facebook, and then I thought, I don't even want to be on Facebook for this, and then we moved over to WhatsApp chat. But this was before Meta bought WhatsApp. And then they bought it, and I was like, oh my gosh, see the claws. They're just like everywhere. So Now we'll be moving over to Signal. I guess this is something that all of you could do too. Like these are kind of the easiest things. Just start using Firefox, start using Signal between friends, between, TFMR acquaintances, and for any of those sorts of conversations. Another thing in my want to do's, this is just like get completely off tech and host an in-person retreat. Completely offline, away off of all of the platforms. So Kate and I want to do this together. Either, well, she's in the Boston area and I'm outside Mexico City in this beautiful, like, mountainous healing town, really. So it would be perfect here or perfect somewhere in the US. So we'll let you know when we have that all offline, off of platforms going on. Another thing that I would like to do is get a VPN. That one is just, it's just like each of these has like so many steps and so many decisions. But like I said, you all are worth it. But investigating which VPN I could have in my country, in my area, and which one is the best for here, I haven't got to that yet. So this is on my want to do list. Another couple kind of fun things, well, they may be necessary, is have a mesh-tastic phone. So those are phones that can message, they like message just between those phones, and they're completely off any of these messaging apps, any of this, they're all connected through this one little phone network. Another thing that I would like to do is make my own cyber deck and use that to directly post onto our forum. Then I'll feel like so super safe. Our forum offshore, and then I'm posting through like a non-Apple, non-Android, no one's tracking anything, because that tracking, I just want to come back to the whole point. The whole point of all of this is to keep you in your TFMR experience, to keep you feeling safe. Because what happens when we feel safe, especially for women or raised as women people, when we feel safe, when we feel connected, when the oxytocin, when the love, connection, community, relationship hormone is flowing, which it super flows in our grief circles. Sometimes I even feel high off of it sometimes. Our bodies relax. And when you feel your body relax after this deep trauma, this deep body trauma that you've been through in TFMR, that is priceless. There's no price you can put on that. We move from survival mode and that go, do this, have the big screen on and the little screen and an iPad so that not a one thought can get in. I did that too in survival mode. I did that too. When we move from that to be able to nod along with someone sharing their story, to shed a tear along with someone, to laugh together, to hear your baby's name said out loud. It's such an honor, and it is the beautiful healing that we deserve, that we need. It's this human ritual that these tech companies want to strip us of. They want to strip this away from us because they know that this is our healing, this is our power, this is our reclaiming. And that is what all of this is about, to help us get to that place. It's not about an encrypted video, or I coded a whole forum for us, although that's pretty fucking sick. I'm really proud of myself for that. But it's about the connections that we make in these spaces. So if any of you have been on this continuum, I see it as a continuum. It's like we got to go step by step, baby steps. It may be slow. It may be a slow process. You may be able to disconnect in some places of your life, and in other places it's still there. That's okay. Even with a little browser switch, or starting with a free Proton mail or some other encrypted email account, go ahead and comment here, or you can send me an email. All of these connections and support, this deep community support, this is what these spaces have always been about. Our parents living through the impossible, looking to make it beautiful and holy. The memories of our babies, the signs, the associations, the dates, all of those memories that we hold so dear. And we do that here in this Facebook group and over in the TFMR support sanctuary. That link should be here in the comments, the tfmrdoula.com/join. You aren't just getting the most amazing holistic support for you through TFMR, because it's so caring and kind, and we fiercely protect you. I fiercely protect you there. You're also supporting all of these safe spaces and my move to our safe, sovereign internet space for us. It's for us. It is truly community care. It is the places where self-care just can't reach. No, we're going to do this. We're going to do this together. We're going to lift each other up together. We're going to remember our stories together. We're going to heal. We're going to heal deeply together, because that is where, like I said, we go deep, we go beautiful. We remember our babies together. So that is what I wanted to share with all of you today. Thank you so much for joining in.